I did my speech on the Disney stories versus like the original stories. I know to begin with, we've all seen a Disney movie at some point or another, whether we'd like to admit it or not. But some, we've all heard of Walt. First of all, this is starting. And it all started with mouse, but it's not all necessarily true. It didn't always just start with a mouse. There were stories that were created before this, and he just kind of did his own thing. But we've all seen one of these movies that featured a princess. Some of us would rather just let it go and pretend like we did not see any of those. But anyways, today I'm going to go over a few points. I'm going to talk about the stories that we all know, the Disney stories. I'm going to summarize a little bit on the original stories, and then I'm going to give you kind of a reason why the Disney stories are better than the original, because they are. Okay, first of all, Snow White. Oh, I'm credible to talk about this because permanent ink. I have a Disney pass and I own several Disney movies, so I'm credible to talk about this. So Snow White, we've all heard the story. Someone's so beautiful that they wanted her dead. You know, it's not really something that we really, as parents, would agree with. I personally, it's just my favorite movie. I like the story. I have a weird sense of humor, and I think it's cool. But anyways, so the queen wanted her dead. She wanted her heart in a box. She just was so beautiful. Not really something that we want our kids to think is okay. Just because we think someone's prettier than them, and we want to go and kill them. Then that's not cool. But when I go into the original, it's totally different. And you understand why this is a lot better. Let me see. Okay, so, and then Little Mermaid. She was, I think, like 16 years old. She wanted to marry the first guy she met ever, it seems like. She wanted to sell her soul to Ursula in order to like live and be with this guy. She wanted to be human. And to some parents, they see that as like a body image thing, that she was not happy with her own body, that she did something so drastic to be able to be with somebody. I agree. I wouldn't sell my soul for some man. No. That's not how I work. So anyways, oh man, I'm just part of time forgetting. Anyways, so no man, yeah. So when it comes to the original, this is the art for the original Snow White. When it comes to the original Snow White, Snow White's the evil queen was actually Snow White's stepmom. She hated her so much. It was unclear when I was reading the story. I don't know if Snow White was 7 years old and the mom wanted her dead at 7. She's still either really bad. But she sent the huntsman to find Snow White and kill her, and she wanted her lungs and her liver. Well, when he wouldn't kill her, he brought back lungs and liver of a boar, and then the cook prepared them, and the queen ate them. Gross. That's not really a story I want. Not only is it disgusting, but it goes into cannibalism. Anyways, so she tries to kill her 3 times because she found out she's not really dead. She tried to suffocate her with like a bodice. She tried to poison a comb to brush her hair with. She was unsuccessful, and then she ended up eating the apple, and the dwarves told her, don't open the door to anybody. She's young, she's new. She does it anyway. So anyways, the final time she ate the apple, they think she's dead, and so then they put her in a coffin. She's just too pretty to put her in the dark earth, according to into the black earth, and that's quoted from the Snow White, the Grimm version. I forgot who it's the Grimms, but anyways. And then a prince comes along and he sees her body and he's like demanding that he takes this coffin home. That's kind of morbid. He's like falls in love looking at a dead body and he's like, I can't live without her. And he eventually convinces the elves or the dwarves to give him the coffin. He takes the coffin. In the middle of moving the coffin, she coughs up the apple. She's alive again. They live happily ever after. Weird. Not something I really want my daughter to be into. It's just too much gore in it. So the original Little Mermaid, this is like kind of some art in it, I guess. In that story, she turned 15 years old. When she became of age, she could go up to the ocean, but first they had to attach 8 large oysters to her tail. So it was extremely painful for her, but her grandmother told her that it's part of being an adult. You have to deal with it. Which I get it, we have to go through pain, we have to deal with it. Also, according to the Anderson version of the story, they don't have souls. Mermaids don't have souls. She didn't have a soul to sell, apparently. She shouldn't have, according to the original story. And the only way for them to get a soul is they have to go up to the shore and they have to marry someone. If they don't marry someone, they die. They turn into sea foam. They're gone. That's it. Well, she goes up, she meets this man, she turns into a human. It's so painful for her to walk, and I quote, it's like walking on knives, and that's quoted from the book by Christian Anderson. The prince is a jerk to her. He treats her like a slave, almost like a pet. You can see here he's just kind of like being mean, I guess. End of the story, she doesn't get the guy. That's depressing. He ends up getting someone else. She does have a chance to kind of revive herself, and the only way to do that is she has to kill him in order to save herself. Well, she's selfless. She doesn't do it. She lets him marry someone else, then she turns into sea foam. Think about that. Sea foam is now mermaid soul life. So enjoy that going to the beach next time. Anyways, so at the conclusion, people, no matter what, people are sick. I mean, obviously we just had this experience in San Bernardino. We know that reality is that people will kill for no reason. That's not necessarily a story I want my daughter to read. I would rather her read and watch the movies that Disney has created, because they're a lot more child friendly. Of course later on she decides she wants to read Brothers Grimm, that's fine, whatever, let her be. She's reading. But either way, people are sick no matter what, and we need to remember that. We either want our children to watch stories about pain and agony, or we would rather have them watch happy stories about love. I know that it's not really, a realistic thing. Not everything's happy-go-lucky, but I'd rather see that than those horrible stories. As a psych major, though, neither story, Disney or the original, aren't good for kids moral-wise. But anyways, I hope that you guys remember that that Walt Disney, when he created these stories, that he did take versions of the originals and created them with kids in mind. So they're not as bad we want to think they are, but they're really not as bad, obviously. You'd rather have the queen eating your stuff with cannibalism, or she just wants your heart in the box. I think the other one's better. So anyways, conclusion is, I hope that you guys realize that princess stories aren't that bad. They're not so cliche. Princesses have lives too. And look at this. This makes children happy. Would the other one make it happy? No. So, that's it.